Arsenal's grip on the European Cup Winners' Cup is about to face its most severe challenge. Sampdoria certainly have the pedigree, winners of this competition themselves in 1990, Champions Cup finalists in 92, and there's no doubting the Italians' will to win. To get this far, they overturned a 1-0 home defeat against Bobby Robson's Porto.
Sampdoria have plenty of people up here around the penalty area, and it might just fall now for Mancini. Oh, fabulous strike by Mancini. He brings life back into the tie. If Lombardo scores, Sampdoria will go through and Porto will be out. Sampdoria will play in the semi-finals of the Cup Winners' Cup. Joy for the Italians. Lombardo scores, but it's the end of the road for Bobby Robson.
Arsenal themselves conceded a goal in the home leg draw against Auxerre. Few fancied their chances in France, but once again the Gunners hit their European target.
Tony Adams keeps the ball forward again. Verlat coming across it. It falls to Wright. And his shot is a goal! Ian Wright, the away goal that Arsenal so badly wanted.
So, coming up live, the European Cup Winners' Cup semi-final first leg between Arsenal and Sampdoria. Hello, good evening from Highbury. The holders from North London against the favourites from Genoa in Italy. Lots of ifs and buts about tonight, and Terry Venables is with us. Ifs and buts like, how will Sampdoria cope, Terry, without Hullit and without Platt, Mihailovic? Lots of them.
Well, I was speaking to David Platt earlier, and he said their form's not been very good, plus the fact now they've got injuries, but you can never tell. There's ifs and buts about all games, but a semi-final was so dramatic, you never know when the nerves bite. The younger guys might come in and do well, but I've also been speaking to the Arsenal boys, and they really seem up for it, so I think it's going to be very interesting.
I am looking for encouragement here for Arsenal tonight, you realise that? You know, I'm just thinking perhaps they might have got Sampdoria at quite a good time.
I think that's right, and I'll give you that encouragement. I'm sure they have actually. And but Mancini and Lombardo, as we said last night, are the top skillful players, and they're going to be the danger, those two.
OK, thanks, Terry. Well, Arsenal's inspiration so often comes from their skipper, Tony Adams.
Tony, what can we expect from Arsenal tonight?
Obviously, we've got to be really positive tonight. We're at home, but in one respect, we've got to be a bit cautious as well. So probably being a bit of a hypocrite there, but. We don't want to concede their away goal, so positive but patient, I think, is the words.
Hello again from Highbury, where Arsenal and Sampdoria are about to meet in the Cup Winners' Cup semi-final first leg. The team's on their way. Tony Adams leading out Arsenal, the holders. Roberto Mancini, who scored such a great goal away in Porto, captain of Sampdoria. Terry, do you envisage a great contrast in styles here?
I do. I think that Arsenal, like always at home, they're going to be positive. They'll mix their game up a bit, but they will be fairly direct. And I would say that they will hit the ball into Hartson, knockdowns for Wright, Merson coming through from deep. Whereas I see Sampdoria, they'll play tight man for man with a sweeper. They'll play through the team. They might not even play with a striker tonight, knowing that Arsenal have got two centre-halves that will stay back. Mancini will be withdrawn. Lombardo will most likely play wide on the right and Solsano on the left. So that will give them a bit of a problem, but an interesting difference in styles.
OK, now then, just before we join our commentary team of David Pleat and Brian Moore, let's hear from Sampdoria's suspended England captain, David Platt. He's with Gary Newbon.
What's the depth of your disappointment that you're not playing tonight?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, 3 weeks ago when we got through the quarter-finals against Porto, everybody had ruled us out of that game. They didn't expect us to get through. And the joy of actually passing through and getting into the semi-final took away any disappointment that I might have felt. As soon as the game finished, I realised that I wouldn't be able to play in the semi-final. So the disappointment is here, and it's starting now as the game's drawing closer. I'm going to put into my seat in a minute to watch again when really I should be going out onto the pitch, and that's when the disappointment will set in. Having said that, I know which game I'd sooner be in. I'd sooner be playing in the final, and hopefully, and I'm sure that my teammates are quite capable of not just winning tonight, but actually winning the tournament.
Well, Brian Moore here in the commentary box. It wouldn't have escaped your notice that Sampdoria came out with a giant Union Jack as a gesture of friendship. Let's now check on the two teams, though. Confirming that David Seaman, cracked rib and all, again keeps goal for Arsenal. He's not played since his heroics in Auxerre in the last round. David Hillier makes his first European appearance of the season in midfield. John Jensen's injured. And Ian Wright, who scored in every round, and John Hartson with 2 goals on Saturday, they are up front. Well, Sampdoria have travelled from Genoa with a bag full of problems. David Platt and the Yugoslav Mihailovic are both suspended. Rudhulic is ineligible. Their best defender, Vjokobod, has an injury. He's a substitute, so it's a reshaped defence and midfield. But there are still men to catch the eye. Ivani, a World Cup finalist in midfield, is one. Lombardo and Mancini, who seem likely to share the attacking duties, are certainly 2 others. The referee tonight, as for the 2 linesmen, they come from Holland. The ref is Jaap Ulenberg. David Seaman, he's not trained for 5 weeks. As I say, his first appearance since that wonderful performance by him in Auxerre. He claims that was one of his best ever. And certainly that was the difference in Ian Wright's strike between Arsenal and the French Cup winners. And at the other end, the great Walter Zenga, 58 caps for Italy, 34 years old now, 11 seasons with Inter Milan, over 350 appearances in Serie A, and voted in the past the world's best goalkeeper. So there are some credentials at that end as well. Let's check on the substitutes. Linnigan, Morrow, McGoldrick, Kiwanya, and the goalkeeper Bartram for Arsenal, and you'll see Vjokobod, who's 36 today, incidentally, among the substitutes for Sampdoria. 22 goals this season, vital ones in the Cup Winners' Cup, and none more so than that miracle strike, is the way Terry Venables described it in the last round in France. But the man to be watched is Roberto Mancini. Came as a teenager to Sampdoria and has been with them ever since. So here we go. Arsenal in the familiar red and white. Attack the goal to our right. Rossi just allows the ball to go across for the goal kick. An opportunity then tonight for Arsenal, in a way, to put their stuttering season into a fluent forward motion. The target really to lay the foundation for a place in the final next month in Paris. And of course, the route to that target never changes. They've got to get goals here tonight, or at least that's the aim. But more important than anything else, as Tony Adams was saying, they must not concede an away goal. Here's Dixon. Scored his first goal of the season on Saturday against Norwich. The referee has, in fact, given Arsenal a free kick much further forward.
I think Ian Wright was pushed to the floor there. The referee spotted it as Dixon was in possession.
Here's Wright in that familiar place just inside the opponent's penalty area now. Hartson's made a little run. Adams will float this free kick into the Sampdoria penalty area. Towards Hartson, big 6-footer. And Zenga comes out. Stuart Houston was saying before the game, I think they'll let us have a lot of possession. They'll defend very deep in their own area. They'll hope to catch us on the break. And Arsenal really do need to watch out for that. Lombardo, the number 7, who so often shows such pace down the right flank, but flits dangerously into the middle, is taking up a much more central position alongside Mancini. Here's Adams. Schwartz. And now Steve Bow. Hillier. Few chances so far this season for David Hillier. I think he's only had 8 starts. But he performed really well in the midfield against Norwich at the weekend. Dixon throw. Hillier with a header. Up goes Wright. Up goes Parler. But Ivani hooks it away for Sampdoria. Oh, charging through. Invernizzi on the far side. Winterburn's header. Schwartz. Winterburn. Schwartz again. Oh, that's a nice little run by him. Down goes Parler. No foul. Sacchetti with the clearance, which came off the Arsenal player. Sacchetti, one of the younger elements in a Sampdoria side that, well, I suppose in a way is getting near to its sell-by date. There are 7 of them, no less, 30 or over. Mancini is one of them. He's, well, in fact, 30 years old. Adams underneath this one. Mancini, good refereeing decision. Mancini jumping at the opponent there. Here's Dixon. Adams planting it forward to Hartson. Lombardo. Nice little ball played by Lombardo for Jugovic. Invernizzi. Ivani, Solsano, and Mancini's pass, a poor one, straight to Merson, playing down the left flank. Any thoughts so far, David, please?
Well, I think it's so important that Arsenal started a good pace. I think Tony Adams got it spot on. He summed it up accurately. But it's never easy to get the right balance between patience and purpose. I think Dixon and Winterburn must sit early minutes and assess, and I think Arsenal must really be looking, if possible, for 2 goals tonight. It's so important that they start well.
Stuart Houston there with Steve Burtonshaw, one of his scouts, on the right-hand side of the picture there with the Arsenal tie. This is Rossi, Jugovic. Ivani swiftly challenged there by Schwartz. Solsano and Serena. Solsano again. Says Jugovic. Ivani playing it around patiently with accuracy until the ball then goes to Winterburn. Marco Rossi. Six Arsenal players on bookings tonight. If they get another yellow card, of course, they miss the second leg in Genoa. David Seaman hitting it clear. Card problem is not confined only to Arsenal. Sampdoria have 4 players on yellow cards. Up goes Lombardo, beaten by Steve Bold.
As we thought, Lombardo, Mancini is going to do the brunt of the front running, but Serena, who we thought might play on the right, is playing on the left-hand side. They tell us that he's got a very strong left side, and he's playing wide on the left, receiving this ball now. And at the back, really, Sampdoria mainly playing with 2 markers and 1 coverer, Rossi.
Adams there first. Mancini stopped the game by Adams. Adams, in fact, rated that performance in Auxerre in the last round when Arsenal won by a goal to 0. Is one of their best ever in Europe. There's no doubt about it, no matter what the other distractions on and off the field for Arsenal and how uninspired their form might be on it sometimes, when these European competitions come around, they do seem to have a facility to put all their troubles behind them and at the same time make a few people eat their words. Norwich victory on Saturday, or the victory over Norwich, won't have done their confidence any harm either. This Lombardo being hustled, and they're hustling well, obviously. They're taking Tony Adams' point. It is a very positive performance so far by Arsenal. Mancini. Solsano to Serena. Played in towards Lombardo. That was important that Tony Adams just got the foot out there. A terrific run by Lombardo, though. Here he is again, a current Italian international. Took a long time for him to work his way into the side, the Italian side. In fact, he missed the World Cup in America. Right. Finding Winterburn. Right again. Here's Mancini picking it up. Definitely a touch there. Ivani. Mancini again. Vukovic going in. There's problems here for Arsenal. Solved, though, by the intervention of David Seaman.
Very splendid anticipation by Seaman, because it was a difficult angle the way the ball came in there, and it was a clever little movement by Mancini. There you see the little lob, and he runs between the two defenders, and he gives an early call and grasps it to his chest very well, and Dixon docks.
It's Arsenal's throw now at the other end. Seaman, who did not have injections, he was telling me before tonight's game. He had something like 6 before the game in Auxerre, but he's got some pretty heavy padding around the cracked rib. Hartson, very dogged, very persistent there. Wins a corner for Arsenal, which Paul Merson will take. Bolden Adams forward.
Arsenal look tall compared with the Italians.
Singer goes for it, but no, he in fact came and then stopped. Winterburn. Wilson tries to get out. Some excellent play by Rossi. Arsenal certainly suspected there might be a lack of inches at the heart of that Sampdoria defence, and hoped they might get a bit of joy from corners and free kicks floated in. Rossi, the number 6, looks a fairly well-built fella. Paolo. Manini getting in quickly for Sampdoria. Gets an injury there. Not a serious problem. Sven-Goran Eriksson, the manager of Sampdoria, on the right-hand side. He's been here before. He brought Benfica here in the European Cup when they gave Arsenal a real lesson in '92. It was a lesson that was well learned that night by George Graham, and really in a way was the birth of a lot of ideas and a lot of determination to do well in Europe. Here's Rossi getting it back to Zenga. Dixon. Ramini backpedaling. Rossi there. Zenga calls for it. There's an assurance about Sampdoria there.
Well, Zenga and Rossi played themselves out of trouble a little bit when Rossi gave, I thought, rather a debatable pass back there onto Zenga's left side. He didn't really make a good angle to get a return pass. He stood still, but Zenga found him accurately, and Rossi kindly and calmly played it round the corner. Be interesting to see how they cope with the back pass. I would suggest that Hartson and Wright and Merson must look for every opportunity to challenge the goalkeeper.
Ivani with the kick. Little man from Tuscany. There's Mancini. And it's a goal kick for Arsenal. Crowd here, something over 37,000. That's a new thing tonight, the North Bank Choir, which is a combination of the Supporters Club, the An Arsenal fanzine and the blessing of the Arsenal board to try and create a real atmosphere behind David Seaman's goal. Winterburn plays it forward. Rossi, who's getting a lot of work early on, gets that one away. Winterburn again. There's Merson. Merson, right. Foul on him by Manini. He missed the game in Porto with 2 yellow cards and has been sent off twice in the last, very recently, in 2 successive Serie A games Sunday afternoon. Manini. It's a free kick for Arsenal. Merson looks as though he fancies his chance here, although I wouldn't rule out Stefan Schwartz either. Zenger lining him up. Merson plays it in. They knock it through towards Hartson, who tried to find Wright with it.
Good to see a little bit of invention from free kicks. We have so many shots just struck wildly, and okay, if the technique's good, it goes over the wall, but there was a little bit of thought behind that.
Sacchetti finding Mancini. Mancini. Lombardo. Long-range shot coming up. No. Parla denied him that, and the referee allowed the game to go on. There was no foul, although Lombardo thought that he had been fouled, and then it's given away badly by Arsenal. As Ivani finds Lombardo, Mancini tries to get back to him again, and it's Bold who gets in this time. Finds Winterburn with it.
Bold and Adams are covering each other splendidly at the moment. There's always the chance of those quick little 1-2s around the box, but they're working together well and intercepting.
Stuart Houston, in fact, has come down to the bench with a message to Merson and to Hartson in particular to push up on the last line of the Italian defence, particularly the sweeper. Well, here's Parla.
Well, the sweeper, of course, is Rossi. He's the spare defender, but Sacchetti and the other defender, Manini, they've got their clear instructions. They're the markers for Hartson and for Wright. Merson's playing a wideish role, semi-outside left.
Here's Serena. Solsano and Lombardo get there first. No, Adams. Sheer determination, but Manini. And they've got to watch them on the break now. In Venezia. Sacchetti. Solsano's covering a tremendous amount of ground. Does well here. Finds Lombardo. Mancini's in there too. Tries to get it back again to Lombardo. They've really got to be watched. And a long-range shot there goes wide of the Arsenal goal.
Well, there you saw once again a good interception on the edge of the box when Lombardo tries that little 1-2 with Mancini. The 2 central defenders really concentration high at the moment.
And Solsano's shot goes wide. Adams. Manini with the header. Ivani, Manini, Jugovic. In comes Schwartz. Ilya does well, finds Dixon, a bit of space for him. Can he use it and use it well? It's with Hartson. For a moment it looked as though Hartson might open up the defence and get himself a shooting opportunity.
I think that was a good sign, Dixon pushing forward to make that cross. I think it's important now, after the first quarter of the game coming up, that the Arsenal fullbacks try and join in. Sampdoria, in effect, really playing 2 markers at the back and the spare man, the 3. There's 5 across the middle, and then they've got licence to join the 2 front runners who are moving around, Mancini and Lombardo.
Invernizzi. Suddenly Mancini. Look at Lombardo streaking ahead of him as well. There's Lombardo, and out comes Seaman. A good bit of judgment again, when it was badly required. But again, an example of how Mancini and this man Lombardo are going to cause Arsenal such troubles here tonight.
Yeah, you saw he suddenly break away on that little diagonal run, somewhat a la Rush, sliding across the back of defenders. Stealthy little runs, cleverness.
Here's Dixon. Towards Merson on the far side, he can't keep it in play. Goal kick.
I think Arsenal will be reasonably happy. They've contained Sampdoria quite well so far, and I think now they can start pushing on a little bit more and becoming a little bit more ambitious. Maybe Winterburn can join in with Merson a little bit more on the left.
Jugovic. It's a foul surely by Parler, yes. Here's Jugovic again. With the Red Star of Belgrade, Ivani, good left foot. Oh, and there's a possibility here, but again Seaman is out, just beating Serena to the ball.
His pure reading of the game so far, Seaman has been outstanding goalkeeping. When to come off his line.
And a great throw there for Winterburn.
Well, probably got caught in two minds there, Big John. I think he was looking at the back post. I think Merson was positioned, then just at the last moment, I think he got caught in half stride and finished up neither one nor the other. Maybe a positive shot might have been required, would have got the crowd on the toes.
Shots. Invernizzi, Lombardo, it's gone. Here's Mancini. Solsano's up ahead of him. Lombardo's going to be in there somewhere. Ivani sticking it wide again. Jugovic forced to retrieve it. Crossed in there towards Lombardo. He's got him behind them. There's a goal coming up here. No, it's stopped by Seaman. And my goodness, Schwartz gets it away. Arsenal looking to see whether there was an offside. But that looked a formality there for Lombardo. We'll have a look at that again in a moment. In the moment, though, it's Ivani on the ball. And they continue to look so dangerous in and around that Arsenal penalty area. And remember, Arsenal must deny them this away goal. And that's sweeping just wide from Ivani. But how did he fail to score here, Lombardo?
Well, he crept behind there. You see the ball when Mancini delivers that ball, it gets blocked. That's the shot. Tremendous shot of Ivani. But they all looked across to the Dutch linesman, but certainly he had no thoughts of putting his flag up.
Yes, that's the Ivani shot, but it was Lombardo a moment ago. We'll have a look at that again in a moment. Here's Hartson. It came off Serena. Dixon with the throw. Sort of throw there, and he flung it in there. Now can Merson get it back? It's gone for the corner.
Good throw.
It was a good throw.
Yeah, good throw. A bright spin, a good layoff by Hartson. Something from the training ground.
Now Zenga, supported by Invernizzi, facing Steve Bold, and the corner from Stefan Schwartz. Towards the near post. Lombardo with the header and with the clearance, and a long clearance it is. Solsano's coming towards him, but Hillier will get there first and gets it back comfortably to David Seaman. Gets it long. Sacchetti with the header. Jugovic. incident with Lombardo a couple of minutes ago, don't worry, and here it is again. Played in by Jugovic, and he's in behind them, and the linesman kept his flag down, and it looked as though he surely would score. But in the end, Seaman just got it away. Towards John Hartson, beaten in the air by Rossi. Stefan Schwarz, a good turn. To Steve Bold. Hit towards Paul Merson. Dixon with space. Looking for a good cross now. In towards Hartson, but Rossi just got there first, right on the turn, and easy for ball to Zenger.
Once again, that attack from Dixon, getting into space down the right-hand side. I think it's so important that they try and impose themselves in the wide positions. It's going to be difficult to get through the middle. There isn't a lot of creativity about the Arsenal midfield from forward positions, and I think if they're going to make a chance, it's got to be from high inside wide areas where they're getting good crosses in, but they're trying to penetrate behind the back line of Sampdoria.
Steve Bold with a header. Sacchetti with the clearance. He said he'd rather be playing than watching, I'm sure of that, David Platt, but he misses the second leg as well, of course, in a fortnight's time in Genoa. Zenger on the ball now. He had a visit this afternoon in the team's hotel from Jurgen Klinsmann. Of course, they were teammates together way back at Inter Milan. It's Dixon with a header. Jugovic. Ivani. Manini. Mancini. Mancini again. Dixon with a header clear, but not all that clear. Sereno only half gets hold of it, and Adams just flicks it away almost casually there for Merson. Here we go now to Dixon. Well, I think they look the more accomplished side at the moment, the Italians, you know, David.
Yes, well, technically they look as though they can cope with the possession easier. I think just Arsenal really got to try and get at them, particularly in the wide position. I would like Merson to get some ball. Really, he's come over on the right side at the moment. I think they need to get it wide and try and overload in wide positions, because at the moment Sampdoria look quite safe.
Hartson goes up. Wright tries to go in, and Rossi, well, it looked as though for a moment he was almost intent on heading it into his own net, but Zenger stopped him doing that, but that was under a lot of pressure from Ian Wright. Up to Lombardo. And Hartson get there first, yes. Parler too. Adams. Now Dixon, or rather Merson. Manini there.
Well, there's a good flick by Hartson there, and good anticipation by Wright going in, not giving up that ball, and really Rossi was under tremendous pressure at the end, and he probably felt Zenger came a little bit late. Possibly Zenger should have stayed at home.
Saying how impressed I've been so far with them. In fact, they're lying ninth in the table and very disappointed. They've lost their last 3 games in Serie A, conceded 8 goals, and they played poorly in Naples on Sunday and were beaten there 2-0. And Sven Goran Eriksson, their manager, said to me before the game, well, if we play as badly again, we might just as well have stayed at home. But in fact, they look a different proposition here. They're up for this one, all right, as indeed Arsenal are too. And of course, for both these clubs, Europe next season means winning the Cup Winners' Cup. They won't qualify through the league, and both these clubs are out of their domestic cup competitions. Free kick for Arsenal now. So there's a lot riding on this semi-final. And here's a free kick for Arsenal. What is it, about 7 or 8 yards? 10 maybe outside the penalty area. 28 yards. Stefan Schwarz is pretty central. Zinger lining the wall up. Schwarz now driving it off the wall, behind for the corner. But Sampdoria complaining to the referee about something. Maybe the kick had been taken before a whistle, possibly.
Yeah, well, I think I'd be relatively happy having conceded a free kick in a fairly straight position to have conceded a corner and nothing worse.
Well, here's Arsenal's corner. Paul Merson with it. Floated there. Bold getting a good header back there. And it's in! Tony Adams, no! Disallowed! Disallowed. It may even have gone in off Zinger, but it reached the back of the net, and it was disallowed for the challenge on the goalkeeper. It's a flick on by Steve Bold, the number 5. There it is. In comes Tony Adams. Zinger there as well.
Well, it's been given obviously for Ian Wright, jumping the goalkeeper. But we said earlier on that Arsenal on set pieces might have just a little bit of an advantage. They have a height advantage. It was a good flick by Bold, and you thought that Arsenal might score one of those goals that they're so well known for over the past few years from a corner set piece. But I think there was certainly a case that Wright was jumping into Zinger.
Certainly a case too for Tony Adams battling away there, and Solsano gets in his way. Here we are again. Well, Wright would say that was a genuine jump for the ball, but maybe there was an elbow that was a little high. But the Dutch referee has disallowed it. It's 0-0 still, and here's Lee Dixon with the free kick. Hit towards John Hartson. Fowler trying to get in. Bold with the header back again. Schwarz playing it wide.
Ideally, Brian, what Arsenal need now is a few consecutive corners or a few high balls into the box, because I'm sure that may have disturbed Zinger. Over the years, he has been proved not necessarily the bravest.
Fowler shot. Okay.
When cross balls are coming in high into the box. But a very capable shot stopper, of course. And a highly respected goalkeeper. But there's always the nagging doubt that he might be susceptible to the high ball.
Yeah, you don't win 58 caps for Italy if you're a dope. He's, as you say, a highly regarded keeper. And at the age of 34, the way goalkeepers are these days, a few more years left in him. Here's Parlour to Dixon. Right. Serena. See, isn't a lot of room to spare or time to spare there. Talking about 7 of their players 30 or over, David, there is a worldliness and a maturity about the way Sampdoria are playing, it seems to me at any rate.
Yeah, I think when they get the ball, they don't panic. They're quite happy to turn their bodies outwards and shield the ball and wait for support. And I think that comes with maturity and playing games.
Rossi. Foul on Rossi there, and a free kick. And there was a clattering for John Hartson as well.
A little bit of revenge there, wasn't there? There's Rossi, going straight for the ball. I think Hartson, to be fair, stretched for the ball. He caught his leg. Rossi's up on his feet. Hopefully, yes, a case of much ado about nothing, I think.
Solsano. Free kick to Sampdoria.
Certainly hasn't been a physical confrontation so far. There's been nothing really tough out there. There's been no sense of players trying to intimidate their immediate opponents. I think that there's an interesting role in midfield that Parlour and Healy are sharing at the moment, and that is to curb the threat of the creator, Jurkovic, the Yugoslav. He looks a very talented player.
Seaman's kick. It's a throw to Sampdoria. Get a word in just a moment with Terry Venables when the ball goes off, just to see how he's reading it so far. Lombardo. Jugovic. Mancini trying to get Lombard away. The flag is up for offside on the far side there. Terry Venables, how do you read it so far, Terry?
Well, I think the most interesting point of view here is the strikers of both sides. Arsenal are playing two central strikers that place themselves in the centre and run out wide, and go from in to out. And on the other hand, Sampdoria have Lombardo and Solsano playing wide, and they will run from out to in, with Mancini dropping deep and playing those little clever balls through between the centre halves, and they find it difficult to cope with it.
Here's Lee Dixon. That's a great shot and a super save by Walter Zenga. Dixon's got the taste for it. He scored on Saturday, his first of the season, and he really hit this well, forcing Zenga to fly across that goal. The ball was swerving, as you could see, and Arsenal get a corner. Nice pictures. Here's Schwartz with the corner. Marla doing well. Ivani only putting it as far as Hillier. Great stop. Goal! And Arsenal are ahead. Zenga no chance. He made an excellent stop with the first one, but Steve Bold chooses the perfect moment to score his first goal of the season.
There's a wonderful strike there by Hillier, and I thought it was very good the way Bold kept calm, because he could have easily slashed at that ball and hit it high and wide. But that will lift the Arsenal spirits now.
That was a good stop.
It was indeed, and Bold was ideally placed to rifle it low.
Arsenal 1, Sampdoria 0. Steve Bold, the scorer. As you say, he keeps calm, and Zenga just couldn't readjust for that one. Now, Arsenal, when they scored against Auxerre here in the last round, conceded one almost at once. So important that they keep their shape, keep their discipline, and get one or two tackles in, and deny Sampdoria that same luxury. Dixon again, who did cartwheels when that ball went in. They win a corner. Now they can test the mettle of this Sampdoria defence, how they are. They've already shown that they can be a little bit vulnerable in the air. All the Sampdoria fans up in that corner where Stefan Schwartz is about to take the corner. He's up there again. Schwartz with a corner, floated in towards Bold. Adams went flying in there as well, and they just got ahead to it and conceded another corner. Good spell this for Arsenal. Schwartz again. Bold again, a good flick on. It's gone in. Well, Adams will claim it. The right is in there too. And Zenga is totally bemused, and a second goal has been conceded. It might even be Steve Bold again.
I'm sure it was. It was a good ball in by Schwartz. They really should have someone in front of Bold. He's got that first touch. It's curved high and slowly and awkwardly, and there's no question about it.
Might even have gone off the goalkeeper, you know.
It may have done, but Zenga couldn't adjust his feet. Wright was there at the back post. They're all muscling in, and quite rightly so, because I think we said early on, Arsenal look taller. They look as though they've got to pull when that ball's crossed. And I personally am delighted that Dixon has been the instigator of these corners by getting forward down the right-hand side, which I thought was so important. Remember, it was his excellent shot that he cut through the defence, where Zenga made a marvellous save that led to the first corner that has produced this tremendous little spell for Arsenal.
2-0 then. And Steve Bold, we reckon. Well, you try and take it away from him. What an amazing night for him. He hasn't scored until now, and it's the second goal of the season. They've come in the space of a couple of minutes in the semi-final of the Cup Winners' Cup. Seaman with the clearance. What a vital 5 minutes that could be.
Absolutely, and now, of course, Arsenal have to be the patient side. Arsenal have to try and lock up shop and be careful about over-ambition, because the last thing I want to do now is to concede. So far, although Sampdoria have been clever, they don't look as punchy as Arsenal when that ball's hit high into the box for sure. And it's so important that Arsenal now just play cleverly.
There's Merson. Kept it in well.
The Arsenal electrician, please report to Arsenal control. The Arsenal electrician, please report to Arsenal control. Thank you.
Fireworks on the pitch, and maybe off them. The Arsenal electrician's just been called to central control. Let's hope we're not going to get a failure with the lights or something like that now.
Maybe they sniff an Italian plot to put the lights out.
It's another corner. Could be more problems. The injured man, they'll just wait for him, no doubt. The referee thinks he's playing the old soldier, and the game will go on. Rossi will not get treatment. It's another corner. Not such a well-delivered one that time by Stefan Schwartz. Marla does really well, whips a good cross in, and Zenga gets it.
And Ian Wright looks at the sky there because he knew as that ball came in from Parler, it's his job as the first attacker to get across the face of the goalkeeper. And he realised a shade too late as Zenga collected it that he should have been there.
Shots. Dixon. Manini. Smartson. Solsano. But it is so important Arsenal stay vigilant. 2-0 will be terrific to take to Italy for the second leg. 2-1. Well, that could really be problems with that away goal. Jugovic. Lombardo. You could say he was taking no chances there. 4 minutes to half-time now. Solsano. Loaded in, easy for Seaman. Flag was up in any case on the far side.
Arsenal retain that well-drilled back four, don't they, Brian?
Goran Eriksson, sorry, David. Getting a little animated there, but I suspect he probably feels from what he's seen already that a goal is not impossible yet for Sampdoria. And while he wants a bit more action, Stuart Houston saying, calm down and take stock.
Yeah, I think Sven Eriksson's saying, you must push forward, you mustn't sit too deep.
Winterburn came off for another corner, no goal kick this time.
Yes,
sorry, I was saying
I'm more than delighted with Stuart Houston with this, but Sven Eriksson will be saying by his motions there on the line, he wants them to play a little bit further out the box. If they sit too deep, they're vulnerable really to the power in the air of Hartson and the knockdowns for Merson and for Wright, and certainly to give away corner kicks. And as Terry Venables pointed out, they're more mobile up front, Mancini and Lombardo, but Arsenal have got that power when that longer ball comes in to, if you like, destroy the defensive marking of the Italians.
It's a free kick for Sampdoria now, though. Lombardo still a threat, remember. Mancini, hugely talented player. They've already made one or two half chances. They will figure they can still get well back into this game, and the goal now would absolutely make that so. Here's Evani, a little flick on by him towards Mancini. Good skills and a free kick. Now they feel that Mancini was a play actor there. They feel it was a dive, but the referee has given the free kick. What's the common language there, I wonder?
I think the decision is an obstruction, really. I think it was a deft touch, and as he lifted it over his head and went to go round him, I think Bold rather cleverly said, "You ain't going to pass me, mate," and that's obstruction, and that should be an indirect free kick.
Well, we'll see whether the referee puts his arm up. Is behind it. Jurgovic behind it. Ivani behind it. Maybe Jurgovic. A lot of activity in and around that wall. It's important that Arsenal hold out here. Jurgovic with it. To the cheers of the North Bank, it's in amongst them.
I think Arsenal did well once again there. Dixon and then I think it was Winterburn, both went on the line, came off the line. It deterred them probably from the subtle chip. Then they decided to go for power. You saw Dixon there moving back, and in the end maybe the confusion got to Jurkovic too. It was a poor effort.
Last minute of the first half. Winterburn. Winterburn again, taking no prisoners there. Meanwhile, the other semi-final, of course, between Zaragoza and Chelsea. That's bad news for Chelsea. The Spanish Cup winners leading by 2-0. Time added on now. Ivani, cut out by Schwartz. Half-time whistle. What a good first half it's turned out to be for Arsenal, and a brilliant one for Steve Bold. Scored the first, credited with the second. There may have been a slight touch-in by the goalkeeper himself. But the scoreline, whoever scored it. Arsenal 2, Sampdoria 0 is the situation here at Highbury in this Cup Winners' Cup semi-final first leg.
Highbury, where the scoreline is Arsenal 2, Sampdoria 0. If I look a little bemused, it's because that scoreline comes after Sampdoria with a better side for the first 15 minutes, Terry, weren't they?
Well, if it wasn't for corners, they'd be doing very well. I mean, I find it incredible that Bold does it week in, week out. He's on the near post, and they've got one player with him. Now, if he stands behind him, he's going to go and attack the ball and flick it on. And if he goes in front, he's going to back off and get it over the top and flick it. It wasn't, and first of all, Lombardo marked him, and he couldn't handle it. Then Rossi marked him. And in the end, it was the last corner. They put one in front and one behind like he should have done, and he couldn't get the ball. But even the disallowed goal, I think, was a perfectly good goal. Zenga looks petrified of it.
We'll look at in just a moment. Let's just have a look at one example of where Lombardo, you were saying about out to in and in to out, explaining at home. Arsenal strikers going from in to out, and how they came out to in.
Well, they stand out and then they make runs across the back of you, and he's escaped. He's already done them 2 or 3 times, and he's made another amount of space for himself, which he loves to have, and Seaman done very well, got them out of trouble there.
Corners. You've explained it really nicely. Now let's have a look first of all at the disallowed goal, wasn't it? Which, what's your opinion?
Well, we don't see the flick on there, but they go up quite cleanly, and you can see he's got one eye on the players, and he doesn't look happy with it. He looks like he's terrified of that ball getting flicked on. Instead of saying, well, leave it to my defenders, but his defenders have put him in trouble in the first place by not nullifying the problem at the near post. They should be nipping it at the near post.
Suddenly it gave Arsenal a bit of impetus, and then Lee Dixon came in with a super strike.
He comes in and it's tremendous power, and this is what Zenga's good at. If you take shots at him, he's a great shot stopper. He's made his name on that. But he is completely uncomfortable with that near post flick.
Okay, now here, let's have a look at the 2 goals, back to back as it were.
Yeah, again, here we've got a situation where the ball is played in between them. It comes back here to Hillier. It's from a corner, again. He knocks it. If he's going to knock it, if he's not going to hold it, he's got to knock it wide on angle. As it comes back nicely to Bold, who kept his head. And
it's got to go out the side,
it's got to go out to the side. You don't take a chance to see whether it's going to go to yours. And here we are here we are again. We've got the same situation. He comes in unmarked, keeps his head down, keeps it low, and I think again Zenga, for a great shot stopper, should be knocking that out for a corner.
He was very dodgy against.
He was trying to give him a corner away.
Yeah, well, look at this one.
And that again, if you can see on the near post, he escapes his marker. He can't believe his luck, I wouldn't think.
No, no.
Here we go.
Let's
Let's have a look. Let's see if we can get it. He flights with a bit of slowness. He don't put a lot of pace. And as you can see, there's no one in front. Ross is now with him. He flips it high and long, and they're all coming in again, and he's just waving at it.
And just briefly, Arsenal got to keep their feet on the ground, I think, haven't they?
I think that's what Zenga's doing. I think he's got to keep his feet off the ground.
Yeah. OK, let's just move on with a new competition that we've got to you, a VIP trip for two to the European Cup Winners' Cup final in Paris, and that's on May the 10th. And if you prefer, mind you, you can take £1,000 in cash. But the question, well, that's an Arsenal question coming up. Who scored the winning goal for Arsenal in last season's Cup Winners' Cup final against Parma? Was it A, Kevin Campbell, or B, Alan Smith? The number to ring is 0891 10 15 10, 0891 10 15 10, and the lines are open right now. And let us hear from Sampdoria's David Platt. He's down in the tunnel there talking to Gary Newbon.
David Platt, were you surprised about Steve Bold scoring 2 goals? Had your team thought about him?
Well, we thought about everybody. We knew that Arsenal were very, very dangerous from set pieces, and they've looked dangerous every time they've got a corner, to be honest with you. That's what they're playing for. They scored a goal which, from where I was sat, looks as though it was a perfectly good goal as well, and you could sense one coming if they kept getting the set pieces there. Unfortunately, they've scored a couple of goals in the first minute, in 2 minutes, after we're dictating the pace of the game, and we've got in and we've had our chances as well.
You wouldn't expect Zenga to let the second goal in, though, surely?
Well, I mean, I haven't seen it properly on a television, but to be honest with you, like I say, at the end of the day, they've got some big boys in there. They know what they're doing from set pieces, and we knew that would be their main threat, and it's proved so.
You're surprised at the scoreline, though, all the same?
Well, definitely, yeah. I think we would, at this moment in time, we won't be happy with the scoreline. Having said that, if we can get back, keep our composure like we was doing in the first 20-25 minutes, then our chances will come, and I feel that we can still get a goal.
Welcome back to Highbury, where Arsenal's famed expertise at set pieces is causing the Italian team Sampdoria all sorts of trouble, Terry.
Absolutely. And on top of that, I'd like to mention Stefan Schwarz. He puts a lovely ball in. A lot of people like the ball really whipped in hard. I like that from the side.
From corners?
Yeah, from free kicks I like it, but from corners, I think if you whip them in too hard, you're going to have to get a flick on, and they fly past and you can't react. A little bit of slowness, it's tempting. You just get a touch, and the other players can see where it's going to go, that flick on, and
it gives them a little bit of time
just
together.
Gives them that little bit of time to look at the ball and see the ball where it's going to go.
What about second half tactics? How do you see it now?
Well, I'm certain they'll try and sort the corners out for a start. I mean, they've got to do that, otherwise they'll carry on being in the same problem. They will look for one thing now, and if it gets even, and that is the away goal. They will keep it calm, try and get that goal, because an away goal will be excellent for them. Even if they can't get back to a draw, they need the 2-1.
That guy there, Lombardo, who you say is wearing a wig.
He's wearing a wig. There's a big mop of black curly hair under there.
Now, he's important to them, isn't he? Very important.
He is such a good player. He's full of talent. He can cross the ball, he scores goals, and he also will get back and help his team. He is a good team player, and with being a good individual as well. I think he's an outstanding player.
We do know there are no subs by the Italians anyway, Terry, but they are obviously going to... You think they will remain patient? They won't panic in any way?
No, they may panic a little when it comes to corners again, but in general play, they'll play their normal game. OK,
thank you. Well, now, let's get a view from Arsenal's acting manager, Stuart Houston. He's with Gary.
Stuart, terrific start. What's the object now? Keep getting corners.
Well, we look absolutely on top of form at corners at the moment. If we can get a few more, I'll be delighted. But early on, we were a wee bit of organisation had to be sorted out. But once we sorted ourselves out a little bit after 20 minutes, I thought we came well into the game. And full credit to the lads. I mean, they've got the crowd behind them now, and we deserve to be 2 up and maybe a bit more up.
You mustn't let a goal in now.
No, absolutely. I think the key to the game now is we keep the clean sheet, and if we can get another goal, it'll be fantastic.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the commentary box. Brian Moore here, alongside me, David Pleat. Here's Manini, hitting it long towards Mancini. He whipped the cross in there, which Dixon will get away. Solsano. Rossi. Secchetti. On again towards Mancini. Again, Winterburn's gone with him, this time conceding a free kick. Sign from David Seaman, or just that he wants two in the wall? Yes, Schwartz and Merson, two men in the wall. Navani with the free kick. Swinging one in towards Lombardo, and it goes for the goal.
Very well organised with the Arsenal back four. You saw Dixon there just up at the last minute. I think he got a little shout from Adams, who was standing just behind him. There's a group of players at the back there. There's two England colleagues. But they really do play well together, and they're organised, and they understand when to hold firm and when to just squeeze.
I think they're going to need to be in this second half as well. I know I'm maybe one of the great pessimists, but I feel that there is great danger with the likes of Mancini and Lombardo, and little Ivani coming in as well. And as you say, Jugovic. Here's Rossi. I think it's going to need a great Arsenal defensive performance in this second half, you know, to keep that clean sheet, David.
Yeah, I think possibly we'll see Serena on the left and Invinici on the right. Just push forward a little bit more, and I'm sure we'll see Dixon and Winterburn this half be quite content to sit, whereas halfway through the half, Dixon started making tracks forward.
Here's Wright from Hudson. Mind you, if Arsenal get another one, here's Merson. Well, he lost balance a little bit there. Dixon had to go back to recover. The ball long towards Hudson, easy this time for Zenger. I'm still not sure that Zenger didn't get a last little flick on from Steve Bold for the second goal, but it certainly wasn't a particularly good piece of goalkeeping, and in fact he had the most embarrassing incident recently in a game against Milan, where Albertini of Milan beat him with a free kick from something like 30 yards that just floated over his head. It's Arsenal's throw. Wait for Dixon to come and take it. Back to Adams. Offside flag is up. Free kick to Sampdoria. Winners of the Italian Cup 4 times in the last 10 years. Winners of the Cup Winners' Cup back in 1990. And beaten finalists of the European Cup in 1992. So there's a fairly rich pedigree here for this Italian side. Adams playing it wide. Winterburn gives up the chase. A throw to Sampdoria. Ivani again. And again. Ball into Solsano. There's Mancini.
Excellent last-ditch tackle there by Adams. It was Adams who'd given the ball away for the throw-in, which Winterburn couldn't get, and I'll make a comment about that in a minute. There you see that ball just played beyond, and tremendous challenge with his left foot there by Adams. But I was going to say, Brian, how remarkably good the pitch is tonight. It's really a testimony to the ground staff here. It's lovely and green. It's a good passing pitch, and I think they've wet it just a little bit. There's just a little bit of zip on it. It's the most perfect conditions. There's no wind at all. It's ideal for football.
Here's Ivani for Sampdoria. Invinici loses out. Merson wanted a handshake, but Invinici wasn't too keen. Winterburn gets the throw. Winterburn's throw. Winterburn. There's Merson. trying to thread his way through, but just look at the number of blue shirts there. But in the end, it gets a little volley, but didn't quite get the purchase on it that he wanted. Some good play by Hartson leading up to it, and Stuart Houston, I would think, well pleased indeed with the way Arsenal have been performing so far. Good chip there from Hartson, the volley by Merson, and no troubles for Zenga. Offside against Ian Wright. Kick quickly taken. Arsenal looking at the linesman while they were looking. Sampdoria getting on with the game. Solsano, Mancini, Lombardo, back to Mancini, trying to get it through again. There's a chance now for Jugovic. They've conceded that goal that they didn't dare think would happen. But now suddenly Sampdoria with Jugovic are right back in this cup tie.
Some clever little bits of play there, little 1-2s round the box. There's a little chip up, and it was just, I think it was Adams, was it Brian, who just deflected that away from Seaman into the pass of the Yugoslav. Here we see it again. It's Lombardo's little ball in. There's the chip up. Yes, it's Adams, and unfortunately Winterburn can't recover, and there's the open goal staring the Djukovic. What a shame for Arsenal. Now we'll see what they're made of.
Adams holds that one up. Dixon plays that one forward. Jugovic. Lombardo claiming offside, but there was no offside there. There certainly wasn't a flag. Invernizzi. Mancini. Goal kick.
Good play by Boldat. Threatening to make the challenge and letting it run cleverly. Good play by Bold.
Mancini at the heart of this one again. That delicate little ball he played in there. Seaman, as you can see, is stranded. And Jugovic in full flight. And that was a formality. And Arsenal may yet count the cost of that one. Up goes Hartson. Serena gets it forward towards Solsano. Rossi. Winterburn didn't get there. Sacchetti. Touched by Mancini. Low backpedaling. Gets it right across the face of that penalty area to Dixon. That was a difficult ball for him to sort out. Gets it back to David Seaman. Hits it long. Cavani.
Sampdoria picked up a nice rhythm with their passing. As I said, I just feel that Invernizzi is pushing into this space on the right. It's important Merson doesn't tuck too far infield.
Here's Mancini again, trying to get Lombardo in. But Mancini more and more is becoming the big influence in this game now.
Yes, as Terry said earlier, they move around so well, they're so mobile. Neither are particularly big men. The players aren't obsessed with hitting them in the air. They're both linked players, they come towards and then they spin away. They're what I call bright-minded forwards.
Here's Lee Dixon for Arsenal. Well, they brought some good, well-behaved supporters with them from Genoa. Enthusiastic too. Oh, what a great bit of play by Mancini. Suddenly 3 against 2. This is just the sort of counter-attack that Arsenal feared. And Winterburn is there just poking it back to Seaman, or at least wide of Seaman. And it goes for a corner. But that was a super counter-attack. Suddenly 3 against 2. And Mancini not at all happy with Lombardo's part in it. But Mancini again was at the heart of it.
Well, that's true quality by Mancini as he took the ball.
Here's the corner. Sweeping corner towards Lombardo. In the end it was John Hartson who got it away towards Ian Wright, who's had a fairly muted game so far as Ian. Back to Zenga. Merson, step back for Schwartz. Forward now to Hartson. No foul. Jugovic, the scorer. Solsano. And there's Winterburn. Ricochets here for Imbanitsi. Throw to Sampdoria. And Jugovic just getting away from Parla there. His thinking was so quick, and Mancini fractionally offside, and they are in increasing danger to Arsenal now.
Arsenal being forced to defend. Eriksson be much more pleased with the start. They've been far more sprightly, Sampdoria.
Rossi with the header. Mancini. Expected play by Solsano. By George Armstrong on the left. Steve Morrow, one of the substitutes, on the right of the picture. Winterburn hitting it long, only right is up. Rossi quite comfortably getting that away. So good support coming in from the midfielder Jugovic. And Sanchetti gets it away. Just how do Arsenal play it now, David?
Well, I think they mustn't panic. I mean, that's the most important thing. There's a long time to go. So far, they haven't won a corner in this half. They haven't won a free kick in a good position. They must continue to be patient, but I think still, at every opportunity, Dixon, who I felt led the charge in the first half, he began to find space. I think he's still got to join in as much as possible, and indeed Winterburn. But of course, they've got to really mark closely now, because it's so important, absolutely vital. They really can't afford to lose another goal.
Hartson jumping for this. Nannini under the pressure, but still stabs the ball clear to Serena. Arsenal's throw, trying to build up a bit of pressure now on the Italian cup holders. Dixon with that throw. Nannini very quickly indeed. Really are losing it. Evani. Jugovic, Mancini, and goes Winterburn, and right offside the flag. Actually, the Dutch linesman was a long way, well, not a long way, but he was certainly behind that game, and he was certainly behind with his flag. Solsano. Could be problems here. Here's Mancini. Lombardo's lurking. Solsano's in there, whistle's gone, free kick to Arsenal.
They certainly move well when they get into that attacking third. And I think they're throwing more people forward than in the first half.
Lombardo, 29 years old. Hartson wins it well in the air, but he can't find right with it. Well watched there by Sanchetti. And Mina's Luckfeld there, little ball forward, and here they come again. This is a good break by Evani. Not such a good ball cut out by Winterburn for Arsenal. Tries to get right in down that flank. We've not seen Ian Wright really tonight, have we?
No, it was a difficult ball, that, and Wright was isolated, really. I think it was slightly ambitious. What has impressed me in the last few minutes is the way that Sampdoria refused to belt the ball down the field when they're under pressure defensively. They really work the ball out in little triangles. They work hard for each other to make little movements so they can come out with the ball, induce Arsenal on, and then break quickly from midfield.
Person long to be fair, a fairly aimless one. Inbenizzi. That's good play by Winterburn. Now Mercer might try something from here. No, he tried to find Wright, but it was crowded out again. There was something like 4 defenders back there between him and Ian Wright, and his Solsano. A tie that really is superbly balanced here at the moment. Really, if it finished 2-1 in the night, you wouldn't quite know where to put your bets for the second leg. Mean that just a single goal victory, 1-0, would be enough for Sampdoria to go into the final in Paris. But of course we all know how good Arsenal are away from home and when the odds are against them in this sort of situation. As David Fleet says, there's still plenty of time left to go in this one.
I'll tell you what has impressed me, Brian, is the discipline of the two sets of players tonight. I don't think there's been a bad foul. You know, it's a semi-final of a most prestigious competition, and it really has been played in a tremendous spirit.
Manini. Schwartz gets in there, but only puts it into the path of Serena. Jugovic. Here's Tony Adams. Merson. Little chip here for Hartson. Winterburn.
John Hartson. Stefan Trotz, the Swedish World Cup player again, a good turn on Solsano. It's available, a little flick through. Merson. That's a good bit of play by Merson.
Singer went down, didn't get a touch. The ball missed the far post.
That's good. Splendid bit of play here by Merson.
Yeah, it's reminding us so far of something that we've missed tonight. Merson and Wright getting hold of the ball and attacking defenders. Defenders don't like it. They can be the best in the world, but they're on their heels when you attack them with that ball.
Rossi got there before Merson this time. Lombardo's header, offside against Mancini. Fighting there by Sven-Goran Eriksson.
Oh, it comes to Hartson.
Sacchetti badly missed that one and could have paid dearly for it. Here he is again. Goal. Hartson. Ivani. Such a neat player, Ivani. Very rarely wastes the ball. Simple little passes, but very effective. Just keeps the whole thing moving along. Jugovic. Mancini to Jugovic. Towards Mancini and Lombardo. Gold went for it and lost it. Here's Serena. Here comes Merson for Arsenal. Hilliard's little touch for Winterburn. Winterburn playing it now for Hartson. And again the Italians get possession. Solsano.
Hartson's got stuck in this wide left position, really. Needs to get back in that centre where Arsenal can play off him a little bit. But at the moment, they're moving the front three around a little bit. Merson's gone on to the right. Ian Wright's up the middle, and Hartson's gone onto this left side. It's not a side that he's really at his most comfortable with.
Still 25 minutes of the game to go. Rossi. Solsano. Into Mancini, could be problems here. And well, he was looking actually for Lombardo. Lombardo had pulled this way a little bit, and Mancini had to go and try and get on the end of his own pass.
Adams and Bowles stepped out magnificently there. Just caused a confusion in Lombardo.
Just as the Italians did there and caught Wright and Merson offside. Their free kicks taken so quickly, being allowed by the Dutch referee not necessarily take it from the exact spot where the offence occurred.
Mancini's influence has grown as the game's gone on, and I just feel sometimes he's getting now into positions where he's not being picked up, and it's so important for Arsenal to pick him up because he's the brains behind the play in the last 40 yards of the field.
Wright can't keep it in play. It's been a tough night for Ian Wright. Varney. Will come again, Jurkovic. Varney getting that simple ball, played straight to Solsano, and he's covered some ground tonight too. Mancini now has pulled away to that far side. Solsano. Jurkovic once more. Winterburn. Run into trouble there. He had the opportunity to get away, get rid of it, but that came off. It's an Arsenal throw. It just flicked off Jurkovic.
I won't be surprised if Stuart Houston now starts thinking about substitutions. Arsenal unable to create much in the middle of the field.
Linnigan, Morrow, McGoldrick, Kiwomya, and the goalkeeper Bartram are his subs. So what would you think?
Well, he possibly could push Morrow on into the wide left position, pushed forward. But maybe sitting there reasonably satisfied, you know, that if they hold this score, we've got to keep remembering that, you know, Arsenal in front, they've got to pull this goal back. But obviously the away goal is psychologically so important.
Hartson to Wright, into Merson. Go into the box this time. Can Parler get there? No, he can't. Schwartz. Ricochet falling to Sacchetti, not once but twice. Evani didn't get a hold on it. Merson tries to, and he's got Dixon away on the right. Dixon playing an early ball in well. Flicked on again that time by Ray Parler.
Never a real threat there to Walter Zenga. Manini forward to Jurkovic. Serena. This is a real good raiding fullback, and that was a good old English challenge from the back by Tony Adams. Merson.
Right after this one. There's a good space. It's Ian Wright. It's a wonderful goal for Arsenal. What a super bit of finishing that was. We've seen so little of him, but my goodness, they didn't dare take his eyes off them for a moment. And when they did, he take this ball from Paul Merson, and Zenga came out. It just needed that touch, the touch and a masterstroke, and Arsenal go 3-1 ahead. Ian Wright, who scored in every round.
Well, whether Zenga's starting position was slightly too deep in the first place, one can't argue with the most magnificent finish by Wright, but wasn't that a wonderfully paced pass by Merson? He's become a little bit more influential as he's picked the ball up in the last few minutes and ran with the ball, which is his strength. But certainly then he picked out the pass, and that was a tremendous goal for Arsenal. The hero celebrated on his own there. All the accolades, all the applause, all the players ran to Merson.
Goals in 7 European games. And he's got in behind them again, but this time flag was up.
Well, this was a Zenger eye view. Out he comes, a little slow to come out possibly, and that was enough for Ian Wright. What a funny old game it is. Just saying a moment ago that we haven't seen a lot of Ian Wright, and it's a real tough night for him, but that's the touch of a true master. And when you do take your eyes off him for a moment and think it's not his night, he comes and smacks you straight in the face and says, hey, don't forget me. What does Sampdoria do now?
Quite simply, I think now they've really got to go for the second and really push forward. And once again, as we said at the start of the second half, Arsenal really just must keep the ball. Keep the ball.
They're bringing on Maspero, a 25-year-old midfielder. Sacchetti cut out by Schwartz. You just can't put a price on the value of Ian Wright in this competition this season. Vital goals he scored. Both legs against Auxerre.
Oh, what a bad ball given away by Hillier to Lombardi. What was he doing? Lombardo going wide, and the ball goes for the corner thanks to Nigel Winterburn.
A dreadful mistake there by David Hillier. Arsenal need their concentration, they need their vigilance, there must be no mistakes now. 3-1 gives them a great chance, 3-2, and that chance really is diminished. Here comes the corner again, floated in by Avani, a long one too. Headed away by captain Tony Adams, knocked back in again by number 3, Serena. Okay.
Good defending there by Parler. We shouldn't underestimate the physical efforts of Parler and Hillier, and indeed Schwartz, in trying to contain the more clever, subtle touches in the middle of the field of the Italians.
It's Invenezzi who's going off. And Maspero is on. Mancini claimed there were some elbows by Bold. Dutch referee thought otherwise. Here's the free kick being taken. It's Dixon playing it down the line. Maspero gets his first touch. In goes Dixon again. Take the Chelsea score now, 3-0. Oh, things are looking bad now for Glenn Hoddle's men. Here it's 3-1 to Arsenal. Of course, to come at Stamford Bridge in that game. Here's Lombardo hooking the ball in. This was of no value to Mancini, who in fact had gone and pushed his way towards Lombardo. So what would Stuart be saying there, David?
Well, I think he's saying that it's important now to try and stretch the game, use the width, wide one side, work it back, you know, get it out the other side, try and keep the ball away from the midfield area of the Italians and try and stretch the game a little bit.
Sparrow. Arnie. Parler. Arnie getting back. Rossi. Zenger. Hitting it forward. Crowd still buzzing with that Ian Wright goal. As you say, David, it was a beautifully weighted ball by Merson, but it was a super piece of opportunism by this man. And that really was a goal out of nothing, wasn't it? Here's Hartson. Schwartz. Dixon. To Adams, not the best of all by Tony Adams there, and it's played another one that Schwartz found difficult to tame just for a moment. Bold, will Winterburn get there, sliding in, catching Serena, who's come to this right-hand side, and Winterburn is down.
And Steve Bold immediately goes to Winterburn because he'll have to have the apologies for that. It was literally the hospital pass in between the two players, and there was fear in both of them as they went for the ball, and I think it's a stretchy job. It looks as though, I don't know where he caught him, Brian. Did you see that?
It looks, by the way, he's holding it just below the knee.
Yeah.
And you can see he gets to his feet briefly.
Well, I think this will be Morrow's introduction in probably the other way. Not the way we expected, but there's no question just by looking at the expression on Winterburn's face. He's looks to me like possibly knee ligaments,
but he gets up and then feels the pain and realizes that just won't carry him. 38,000 the crowd here. Seeing Arsenal leading by 3-1. 2 goals by Steve Bold, 1 by Ian Wright. Jugovic having scored for Sampdoria. So it's the exit for Nigel Winterburn. Now, will he bring Morrow on, do you think, or will it be Linnigan?
Well, I certainly don't think they'll wait. I think he'll have to do it straight away. The Arsenal doctor's on his way round to this side of the field. I think it would be Morrow in the left-back position, and I think it would be sooner rather than later.
In the meantime, in the left-back position, you've got Ian Wright. With Arsenal in possession, pushing forward. Schwartz is looking after Lombardo. He's just dropped back a fraction. Dixon, it's a good ball, played for Parler. He's done well here. He's got a nice little cross in. Can Merson read it? Excellent piece of play here by Ray Parler, curling a lovely ball in there, just got his foot around it. And Merson with a header, Sanger with a comfortable catch. In the meantime, Jugovic now. Mancini. Oh! It's another one! And it's Jugovic. And it's 3-2.
Well, that's a tragedy for Arsenal. Winterburn was coming back onto the field, bandaged. I didn't think the Arsenal back four had the shape properly at all. And I think here they're looking for an offside. We have to see this again. There you see that little ball played through. They certainly squeezed the edge of the box. Clever little back heel. There's no offside for sure.
Perfectly good. Jugovic is there.
And another calm finish. We've seen some good finishing tonight.
Now another long ball. Merson trying to come in onto it. Down goes Zenger.
Hasn't filled me with too much, what's the word? If I'm
confidence.
Yes, I think that's the word. Zenger tonight is...
Here we are again. It's the back heel that actually, there we are, from Mancini.
Superb invention by possibly one of the most skillful players on the field, and once again it was the Yugoslav that was presented with a chance, and another very calm finish, placing the ball rather than powering the ball.
Dixon gets in.
Certainly looks as though the second leg is going to be a marvellous game, a marvellous spectacle, wonderfully poised, if it were to stay the same. Whereas poor old Chelsea look, that score stays the same, difficult. There's the back heel.
That's the crucial moment, maybe, of this whole two-legged tie.
Marvellous little pass. I mean, it was a little bit lucky too. It just bisected Bold and Adams there.
Another Arsenal player down on the far side as a long cross comes in here. Back again by Serena. Dixon down, I think, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Winterburn's back on again. Let me just get you up to date with that. Dixon got a smack on the side of the head. Gary Lou in there, just looking like they're going to bring the stretcher on for him. referee was pointing in that direction, but Dixon says, no, I don't need it. Just want to know where I am. Well, where we are is coming towards the closing minutes, 9 minutes or so left. An incident-filled Cup Winners' Cup semi-final. Maspero with that header. One last surge now for Arsenal. A little over 9 minutes remaining. Turned Adams well. Schwartz going across to try and check him, and Lombardo runs out of pitch. It's a goal kick. Seaman with that kick. Well, Merson takes it on. Wright's gone into the centre, and Merson is really taking it. Well, that looked like a clear obstruction there by Rossi on Merson.
I think he took his ground, Brian. I think it was more a case of him reading the direction of the ball. Merson really had too much to do. I think he did it from too far away from him.
Here's Avani. Mancini deflects, stays down, and the heading ability of David Seaman got Arsenal out of a spot there. Mancini. 7.5 minutes left, and you still feel there are goals in this game. A little flick through. Solsano knocked away by Bold. Serena. Lombardo left it for Mancini. And Sampdoria got a corner.
I'm not sure if Arsenal had a corner, have they, Brian, this half, Arsenal?
Can't recall one. Mancini. Maspero alongside him. Here's Avani. The flag was up for an offside. It came off the Arsenal player, so it's not a corner. It's an offside flag.
Lombardo in the centre of the goal there that was caught offside. Lazy for once.
Steve Morrow still waiting to come on. There's Hartson. There's Wright. A clean handball. Referee puts his hand behind his back, saw nothing wrong. Serena plays it forward to Lombardo, rather. Manini. Challenge there by Bold, nothing wrong with that. Took the ball, Schwartz knocking it wide towards John Hudson. Hudson. No, Rossi was there. Arsenal's throw.
Arsenal could do with a couple of big balls into the box. Test Zenga's resolution.
Let's see what a long throw from Dixon can do. Maspero goes down, a free kick given against Lee Dixon. Arsenal going to make a double substitution in the moment. Morrow and Kiwomya, we think, are coming on, and Lombardo caught offside. There's Tennant. Oh, it looks like Merson and Wright going on. Merson and Wright going on. And Steve Morrow and Chris Kiwomya comes on. Surprised about that?
Just a little. I thought Merson was the most dangerous forward in this half, running at the defence from slightly deep positions. I can understand the fresh legs, Kiwomya for right, and I suppose in a way you can understand Hartson staying on, hoping that he might get on the end of a high ball in the box. And that's obviously Arsenal's intent at the moment.
Columbia. Fresh legs didn't find a way through there. Wright's gone straight to the dressing room. Surprising in a way, unless there's something about Ian Wright's fitness maybe that we don't know, because he's the sort of fellow who, as Merson, he's staying on to watch, who might well, as he did just now, pull something out that is quite extraordinary that turns the whole game again.
Yes, I think it's, I don't know if it's the extra goal they're looking for now, but they probably want a little bit of more life in harassing and hustling the Italian side, who are beginning to gain a little bit of authority.
Just 4 minutes left. Morrow stretching out. Kawamia couldn't quite get a hold on it. My goodness, Singer was panicking again. Almost missed that back pass. Doubled back in double quick time and banged it away into touch. Dixon, but Mancini was coming behind him. Plays the short ball for Salsano. Again towards Mancini. Oh! Serena was in there, coming from nowhere, and Dixon, rather Seaman, just managed to smother that ball. This was very, very near to another Italian goal.
I think Seaman's been absolutely brilliant coming off the line tonight, reading situations, and a complete contrast to the goalkeeper at the other end. I think Seaman's done superbly well.
Well, Hillier caught out again there. Hillier again. Ivani. There's Lombardo. No troubles there from Seaman. Solsano, and here's Mancini. The referee looked hard at that. The Italians felt they should have had a penalty. I must say, it looked to me they had a good case for one, looking at it first time. And Mancini is disappointed. What do we think about this?
Well, it certainly gets goal side. Winterburn looks as though he has a shade of a tug. I'm not so sure about that. Once again, there's the brilliance of that goalkeeper, Seaman.
Here's Hudson. Let's see if we can find some brilliance there. No. There were 4 defenders around him. Parler couldn't get in there. Schwartz playing it wide. Parler again, looking for a good cross, can't find it. Got shoved down there, but again the referee allows that to go on. In comes Adams. Adams really up there amongst the front men, and really he should be back there, because here comes Mancini.
And Lombardo's made a terrific break through the middle. Boulder's gone with him.
And in the end, it's a goal kick.
Well, I think the officials have been very good tonight. The Dutch linesman, particularly the one on the right, had some very difficult decisions when the Arsenal had squeezed, but they've been spot on. For once, Lombardo running out of control.
Inside the last minute. Everything set really for another momentous second leg. Comes up in Genoa in a fortnight's time. Well, Sampdoria will be delighted with their night's work when they were 2-0 down, and it could have gone further against them. Fought their way back. Looked as though they could be on their way out for a little while there, but they fought their way back to their skills superbly. Got that important goal, and then when they went 3-1 down, kept their heads, kept their nerve and composure, got that vital second goal. I suppose if you're a neutral observer and looking at the shade of odds, you might well think that Ian Wright and Arsenal might be once again truly up against it, and the odds might just favour Sampdoria. But with Arsenal away in a second leg, you never really know. Adams gets it back. Seaman knocks it out. Morrow heads it forward. Clarkson head down again, trying to hold off the defender. This time it's a free kick. get back further than 2 yards, surely. Winterburn scoping it in there towards goal. Hartson couldn't quite get in there. That looked like a handball there, and it was a handball there by Serena. It's a free kick for Arsenal right on the edge of the penalty area, and we're playing time added on. Well, this could be a last vital, almost priceless strike by Arsenal. Stefan Schwartz looks as though he's the man who looks, well, he's capable of blasting a hole through any wall.
It's vital Zenga gets a view of the ball here. And I would imagine Schwartz will go for the power shot.
It's a critical moment. Schwartz with a shot! He saved it well. Well, whatever we say about Zenga, he got a sight on the ball and he got beautifully behind that one. Hillier trying to get it back into the centre again, gets a corner instead. Well, Schwartz found his way through a wall, but Zenga was there to do his work. Winterburn. Free kick to Sampdoria. You were going to say something, David?
Well, I think Hillier he had a chance there. He wanted the high corner again. There was the chance. And you see as Zenga beats this ball out, it was so important. I think Stuart Houston will have a word. They needed to be first to that rebound. They were slow to the rebound. Schwartz took the kick a little bit quick. I think he even baffled his own colleagues. They weren't ready for it. He decided to take the chance early.
Full-time whistle. An incident-filled first leg, and the promise of a pulsating second leg. Steve Bold with those 2 goals in the first half. Jugovic with 2 goals for Sampdoria. Ian Wright, who was substituted with a classic striker's goal that gave Arsenal that 3-2 advantage. Well, that's the first leg. The second leg led up to an awful lot more in Genoa in a fortnight's time. The final score then here at Highbury is Arsenal 3, Sampdoria 2.
Welcome back to Highbury. After being 2-0 up at half-time, Arsenal have finished 3-2 here. They are ahead just. But let's hear a view, probably a disappointing one, from David Seaman and Steve Bold. They're with Gary.
David Seaman and Steve Bold. First of all, Steve, your first 2 goals of the season, but in the end, it's 3-2, and it leaves it wide open for the second leg.
Yeah, we've made it very difficult for ourselves. You know, we're very disappointed. We thought, you know, 2-0, 3-1 might have it sewn up, but a little bit disappointed.
David, you've had a very good game in goal, but you were unlucky with the first one. I mean, Tony Adams, a deflection, and he put it in the path of their forwards.
Yeah, that's right. It was one of them things, you know, I think if Tony had missed it, perhaps I might have got it, but that's to be seen.
What about the second goal? What happened there?
The lad did a great back heel, and it's just felt perfect for the lad, and he's you know, like, give me the eyes and tried to send me one, me set me the other, and he's put it in the corner.
Steve, looking at that side, they've got a great reputation, but there's no reason why you can't go on to get to the final, looking at them, and they've got players still missing.
No, it's still wide open. We've given ourselves a great chance, but we'd had a better chance at 3-1, wouldn't we?
Why do you think it was a turnaround in the second half?
Well, I think they knew they had to score a goal, basically, and we defended quite badly on both goals. A little bit disappointing.
That's the Arsenal view. Now the Sampdoria view from England captain David Platt.
So where do we go from here? Do you think that Arsenal can do it, or do you think your boys are going to get through?
Well, I think the tie's obviously still delicately poised, and it didn't look like that at half-time. Arsenal were very, very dangerous from the set pieces and went in 2-0 at half-time. And we needed a goal and managed to get one early doors.
Sometimes you need a bit of luck, and that was an unlucky deflection by Tony Adams.
It was, but I don't think you should take away the credit from the move. We got a lot of passes together, and I think even if Tony Adams hadn't have actually deflected it, it was on its way to a Tio Lombardo. And then the second goal, you can't take nothing away from it. It's a touch of class from Roberto Mancini.
But the difference between the goalkeepers, Zenga looked a bit shaky, where Seaman did play very well.
Well, certainly in the first half from the corners, I think we all looked a bit shaky, and we are missing some of our perhaps tallest players, and unfortunately we couldn't defend properly like we should have done. In the second half, we kept Arsenal a bit further away and restricted their corners right up until the last minute.
Thanks, David.
Pleasure.
I think Arsenal will be happy that David Platt's missing also from the second leg. You go along with that, Tony?
Yeah, I think they will, and Gullit also. I mean, they're very dangerous players, but forgetting all that, they're a class side even without those players. You saw tonight, right through the game, apart from the corners, they've played extremely well. And Arsenal have had to be right on top of themselves to get a win tonight, and they have. And people are inclined to write Arsenal off if they don't get the right result at home, but they've kept going away and keep, you know, doing well away from home, and I think that they're capable of that.
The young Yugoslav, Jugovic, he did all the damage with the 2 goals. I mean, how do you see the two of these goals?
As David said, it was a lovely move. There's one touch passing. They're moving Arsenal around. They're putting them in a bit of a panic. Tony's facing his own goal. He tries to clear it and deflects it past David Seaman, and he's got an easy job of just tapping it in the net. In fact, he had a very good second half. And here you'll see, I think, the ball goes to Mancini. He takes it away from the defender over this way to the right. He backheels it to the nearest man, and I think what you'll find is that it's meant for Lombardo, but the guy, Jugovic, is behind Tony Adams, and he picks it up. Because it went out of his vision. So I think he actually meant that from Lombardo.
He wasn't offside, was he? There were appeals for offside.
No, he wasn't. He looked offside when it happened, but when you look at it across it was a very good decision.
Now we're trying to be optimistic, I guess. Well, I am, Terry. Can we be optimistic? I know the fact that they've got their noses in front.
Well, to go to Sampdoria with a goal lead is, as Bold said, it's not ideal. We'd like that 2-goal, that little breather that they had. But it wasn't to be, and they've consistently defied people when they've gone away from home. You know, they've kept clean sheets, and they're capable of doing that. Palmer, Auxerre in the last round, and if they can get that goal, and even if they can just keep a clean sheet, it's fine. But 1-0 knocks them out.
And maybe hope that Walter Zenga's playing in that sort of form.
Well, Walter Zenga, I mean, he said, David Platt, that they've got a lot of their taller players to come back, and I think they'll need them if they're going to stop set pieces.
Terry, thanks very much. Sad news from Chelsea. They're losing 3-0 with about 5 minutes to go. There's been some crowd trouble as well. So Arsenal 3, Sampdoria 2. Fascinating return in a fortnight's time. Now, you can see that live here on ITV. It's certainly not to be missed. And then on May the 10th, you'll actually have exclusive coverage of the final itself in the Parc des Princes. And then we mustn't forget also Wednesday, April the 19th, the Champions League programme on the second leg semi-finals can be seen at 10:40 in most regions, live in Scotland. Great moments to come, but let's end the evening on the one little ray of hope for Arsenal, Paul Merson's superb pass, and the quicksilver pace and agile finishing of Ian Wright at least, giving the Gunners a lead to take to Italy, albeit only 3-2. It's certainly all set up to be a nerve-wracking finish. Holders hanging on.